everyone, I hope you're okay. I thought today was the day I finally do a bit of a paint/draw with me. I'm staying at an art residence at the moment, so I can't actually film where I am because it's the artist's private studio, but I'm going to try and do a little top-down paint with me as normal. I'm staying here for the week, so it actually gives me a bit of time to sort of dedicate myself to drawing and painting. I can finally get some of these videos out. It's been really nice actually coming here and actually having the space dedicated to painting. So I don't know if you know, I started painting in May 2020, so I'm still very much a beginner. I live in a very tiny little home. It's essentially 2 rooms. So you go through my front door, you've got a bathroom in front of you, and then the room that you go straight through the front door into is a living room and a kitchen joined, and then next door you've got the bedroom, and that bedroom is also my workspace, so I work from home. Half that bedroom basically is taken up by a big desk, and that is where I do all my client work. So you've got the Mac there, you've got my little laptop. I don't ever paint from that space purely because I like to keep that space quite clinical. You know, my client work uses a very different sort of headspace to painting, and I like to keep that very neat so that as soon as I go in there I know what I'm focused on and I'm not distracted by ideas of painting and art. So I currently paint in my living room. Now my living room doubles up as my dining room, so we have to eat our meals from the sofa because there isn't a space for a table. I do my art from the sofa on this little fold-out table which I put away every evening. The fold-out table fits probably like my sketchbook, a bit of my palette, and a jug of water. So it's very small, and that's the reason why up to this point I've been painting very small. I've stuck to the little tiny sketchbooks, and the biggest I've painted at the moment is A4. So yeah, so I am quite constrained, and I haven't yet been able to make anything bigger than what I'm making now, which I feel is quite limiting. I don't even really have the space for an easel. I've got one, it's currently just sat on the floor because as soon as I put it up, it just takes up too much space and there's nowhere to walk by. Yeah. So I'm hoping that the aim in the next year or so is my partner and I are hopefully going to buy a house. It's a little bit more complicated now that I've gone freelance, and he is currently out of work. He was made furlough this time last year, and then made redundant in September, so he's been out of work for about 7-8 months now maybe, and it's very tricky for him to get work at the moment, so we are at the moment just constrained to that tiny house, which is why I've come here. So I've got a bit of space, I can just crack on with the first lot of filming. Yeah, I have already drawn my lines, so I've got my sketchbook here. I've drawn some little nasturtium leaves, and I've got some little tiny, I don't know if you can see these little dots here, they're going to be raindrops, so we'll see how they come out. I have no idea, as per usual, I have no idea how I'm going to do it. I just sort of sketch and then work out how to do it sort of while I'm in the middle of doing it. Probably not very helpful. I know already that I'm going to block out the background. The background of my reference photo is quite dark. And I usually do that with gouache. I normally block out the background so that I can work in loads of layers and add a bit of depth to it. So I'll do that. Yeah, let me go set up the camera so I can show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so the colours I'm going to use are going to be this, I can never pronounce this brand, Arteza seaweed gouache, which I've already popped there. I'm going to use classic, just white and black Winsor & Newton gouache, and these are the 2 shades of green that I use a lot. I love these 2 colours. So we've got the olive green Winsor & Newton, and then we've also got, this should be sap, yeah, sap green. Again, Winsor & Newton, ignore my chipped nails, I need to get them redone. So yeah, they're going to be the colours I'm mostly working with at the moment. If I add any yellow, I probably will add some yellow in actually to give some lighter greens, or I might swap to a lime green. Okay, so we are probably about a quarter of the way through the base layers so far. The base layers are just the stage where I add all the colour and a little bit of shade and depth to the actual leaves and a few highlights, just so I know when I go in and add highlights and detail where the lights are supposed to be hitting. So about a quarter of the way through, my paints need a bit of a refresh. So before I go do that, I'm gonna go grab myself an ice cream. Because it's so sunny and so nice outside, I feel like I'm wasting the day. So let's go grab an ice cream and then we'll come back and finish. Okay, day 2 of Draw With Me. I didn't quite get finished last night. Actually, in fact, I never finish one painting in one day. Very, very rarely anyway. I usually split them over 2 days, purely because I tend to get a bit bored. Also, it takes me so long. I think I'm a very slow painter. So, you know, I don't really have a full day to just sit there and like paint. So I tend to split it into 2 evenings and that usually works fine. I ran out of storage space last night on my phone. So, yeah. I finished the base layers and then I may have gone on. I was in the zone. You know, when you're in the zone, you're just like, well, I can't film it, but I'm just going to carry on and I'll just do half of the like more detailed layers and then I can finish off today and show you what I did. So this is where we're up to at the moment. So as you can see, I finished the base layers here and then I've just gone in and added like the first layer of detail. So I'm going to work on this bit today and I'll show you what I did. It'll be the same, exactly the same as what I did here. Yeah, I'm kind of pleased with it. It's always really hard at this stage to work out like how it's gonna look at the end. Usually, especially with gouache, I feel like all paintings go through this really ugly stage, and this here is definitely its ugly stage. This is looking a little bit more composed, but that, like, gross. It's a really, really rainy day today, so I think most of the day is going to be spent painting and reading. I will go to the beach. Just because, you know, I live so far from the beach that even when it's pouring with rain, I feel like I just have to go. Also, I realised actually while I was painting, my thumb looks really gross. So just a forewarning, I burnt myself getting a pan au chocolat out of the oven. Classic. Yeah, so it looks a bit manky, but it was worth it. That pan au chocolat was delicious. So roughly 4 hours, maybe 4 hours, 5 hours. I need to add up how long I spent on it, but let's just say 4 hours. 4 hours later, we are finished. It's a little messy. I tend to get a bit bored of doing very detailed work, even if it is on a small scale. So I also like, I just want to finish it. Since I've started a piece, I'm like, right, I just want to get it done now. So it's not the neatest thing in the world, and had I given myself more time, I would probably just neaten up some of these little edges and make sure that I was blending the colours in a little better, but I mean, I quite like it. Yeah. I'd love to know if you have ever painted anything similar, or if you've got any tips, or if you happen to be a gouache expert and I've done something dreadfully wrong. I'm always eager to learn, as you know, I'm still learning and I feel like I'm still very much a beginner. So yeah, if you have any tips, let me know. And even if you've never used gouache before, I'd be really interested in hearing whether you'd like to have like a sort of tutorial on something like this. I'm gonna make my first tutorial this month. Haven't decided exactly what it's going to be yet because I might be constrained for time. But if there's anything in particular that you want me to teach, or you want to learn how to paint, let me know and I will get filming. For now, I hope this was interesting. Let me know what you're working on. I'd love to see it. And I will speak to you soon. Bye.